There's a thing out there.
Why is any object we don't understand always called a thing?
Headed this way. I need you. Damn it, Bones. I need you. Badly.
Captain Kirk reunites the crew of the Starship Enterprise as an alien threat speeds toward Earth in the new movie version of Star Trek. One of 5 new movies we'll be reviewing this time on Sneak Previews. Across the aisle from me is Gene Siskel, film critic of the Chicago Tribune.
And this is Roger Ebert, film critic of the Chicago Sun-Times. Now, in addition to Star Trek, on which we really disagree, guess who likes it?
But speaking of spaceships, for our next movie, Star Trek, there are, I think, 2 questions that have to be answered. Everybody wants the answers to these. First, does Star Trek do justice to the popular television series? And second, are the special effects any good? Well, I think the answer to both questions is yes. The television series made a successful formula out of combining adventures in outer space with basic questions about human nature, and so does the movie, which opens as a vast alien presence, sort of a star cloud, is discovered heading straight toward planet Earth. The Starship Enterprise, which has just completed a massive overhaul, is assigned to go out and meet the invader, and Captain Kirk, who has now been promoted to Admiral Kirk, tries to reassemble his old crew. Everyone's on board except Mr. Spock, the half-human, half-Vulcan, totally logical science officer, who in this scene surprises the crew by turning up late.
Permission to come aboard, sir.
Granted, sir, granted.
Spock. Spock.
I've been monitoring your communications with Starfleet Command, Captain. I'm aware of your engine design difficulties. I offer my services as science officer. With all due respect, Commander.
Mr. Clark.
Well, so help me, I'm actually pleased to see you.
It's how we all feel, Mr. Spock.
Captain, with your permission, I will now discuss these fuel equations with the engineer.
Mr. Spock. Welcome aboard.
And so the old crew's back together again, plus a last-minute replacement named Ilea, an alien who joins the crew and then is cloned by the invading space cloud. In this scene, the invaders use Ilea as a way of making contact with Kirk and his crew.
I've been programmed by V'ger to observe and record normal functions of the carbon-based units infesting USS Enterprise.
Jim, tricorder. Who is V'ger?
V'ger is that which programmed me.
Where is Lieutenant Ilea?
That unit no longer functions. I've been given its form to more readily communicate with the carbon-based units infesting Enterprise.
Carbon-based units?
Humans, Ensign Perez. Us.
Guess I never really thought about myself as a carbon-based unit before. The story of the Star Trek movie revolves around favorite themes of the TV series, which are, what is intelligence, what is life, and in which ways are humans, and Vulcans too for that matter, different from the other beings in the universe. The crew of the Enterprise confronts these questions after they meet the invading alien force, and that leads to all sorts of opportunities for the movie to exploit what we're really looking forward to, which is the special effects. And so, how good are the special effects? I thought they were pretty good. The scenes in the futuristic spaceport at the beginning of the movie are obviously phony, but the stuff in outer space ranges from the adequate to, on a few occasions, the mind-boggling. Star Trek is not as visionary as 2001. It's not as scary as Alien. It's not as exuberant as Star Wars. But it is fun at the movies, and I had a good time.
And my mind wasn't boggled once by any of the special effects. I'm sorry, we saw the same effects, but we had wildly different reactions, although, to be fair, you did say at the beginning they weren't so hot. They had a lot of trouble getting the special effects, I think you know this, and they had to change special effects teams. And frankly, all that they got, I think, are just small duplications of some of the stuff in Star Wars, which we've seen so often that we're really, I think, looking for an advance from that now. And so I wasn't really dazzled at all.
Do you think, Gino, that we get too hung up on the technology in these science fiction movies, that after 2001, after Alien, after Star Wars, the critics in particular are looking at the special effects as kind of a sweepstakes, whereas the audience is really more interested in the movie as an entertainment or as an experience than...
You said it right when you were talking. You said the two things we want to know. Is it as good as the TV show, and are the special effects any good? I think
they are fairly good. They're not, you're right, they're not as great as 2001.
So that's a letdown. Of course you want to see something better that you haven't been seen before. That's the whole basis of movies, dazzle us, especially when they go out to outer space. But on the question of the story, I think that there's a big flaw here. Maybe you agree. There's this black cloud invading. We're set up. That's the major confrontation. So naturally, we wait for 2 hours to find out what's in the cloud and what's going to happen. Who's going to get hit? Who's going to hit whom? Well, it never happens. We get a real letdown here, and we get some of that phony moralizing from the TV show. Guys in spaceships telling us we're human because we love each other or something.
Well, I don't think it's phony moralizing. I think that's one of the endearing things about the TV show and about the movie is the way that it kind of looks at human nature in a fairly optimistic way. But I agree with you, they missed the boat by not having a great villain. The greatest thing about Star Wars was Darth Vader. Darth Vader was the most popular character in the movie, and I think here they missed the boat by not having a villain equally as bizarre, as outrageous, or as individual.
I don't know. What I'm saying, I guess, is maybe little kids will like it, but I think that even they will be bored because the film just runs on.
Okay, well then here we do have a major difference in opinion. You're saying little kids will like it. I'm saying a lot of other people will like it too. I enjoyed it. I think as a movie named Star Trek, the sort of thing we're anticipating, I think this is a pretty good experience.
And I was let down. Okay. Roger and I split on Star Trek. Roger found it fanciful and fun. I found it a bloated, totally unamazing, stretched version of the TV show. Roger says yes, he recommends you see Star Trek. I say no. And I think we learned one thing about each other.
Okay, what's that?
I think you are too easy on family entertainment films.
And I think you are too hard. So that's it for this show.